Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. My name is Taylor, and welcome back to the art table for September 2023. This time featuring, and I hope I'm getting this right, Natalia Ionescu. Now, I will try to confirm with her before I post this video to make sure I have the proper pronunciation, as I know that when you have a last name that is not pronounced phonetically, it can be kind of frustrating to have people pronounce it correctly. Now, to get my usual spiel out of the way before we dig into the artist, any works that I cover by them are with their written consent. Please feel free to share their work or share my video, but do not in any way take out any disclaimers or act as though the work is your own or that you have permission from the artist to share their work independently. So please, before sharing the work, get permission from them. I do not take any form of kickback, promotion, discount, commissions, or anything of the sort in terms of making these videos. Any commissions that I have done by the artist will be outside of the scope of the video, and I will talk about them if I have had one done. I do this purely for the love of the artwork and to showcase the artist. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the actual artist today. Natalia is, as far as I understand it, a recent art school graduate and freelance illustrator / graphic designer who has some absolutely phenomenal, like I mean extraordinary pieces. Like, it's so cute and everything is so soft and lovely, and it definitely feels like one of the things I was missing on this channel. Now, I'm not looking to kind of Pokemon this whole thing and get, artists of every style, of every genre. I just look for artists who may not be super well known or have really unique styles that I don't see people recreating a lot. I'm not going after someone with 600,000 followers on Twitter. I'm going for the person with less than 1,000, maybe a couple hundred at most. And I get the channel won't necessarily get them a lot of coverage, but it's better than nothing, right? And again, that is also with the written consent of said artist. I make sure I clear everything with them first. Oh, speaking of which, any commissions you have done by the artist are between you and them. I will leave any social media links or commission pages in the description down below, but I am in no way involved in that transaction. That is purely between you and them. They have every right to decline or deny your request, as well as determine their own pricing and time frame. Please understand that, again, I am no way involved, nor do I have any influence over it. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the first piece. Now, the first piece, and the one that really made me know for sure that I have to cover Natalia here on the art table, was this one, which is meant to be an artist's rendition of what Calgary, the city I grew up in, might look like in the far future, and it's absolutely stunning. I love the beautiful soft pink hues on the clouds and how it reflects in the water. The dog is always super adorable. Obviously, if you want me to love anything, just put a dog in there. And it's a beautiful idea of what Calgary or any city really could become. Just this nice green landscape with a single road cutting through on either side. Kids being allowed to play and just be kids. And even the ugly Peace Bridge actually being turned into something that looks nice, which we all know is never going to happen, unfortunately. And I'm just noticing the cobra chickens, aka geese, which are the bane of every Canadian's existence. And I don't hate them. For once in my life, I don't hate geese. And it takes a lot. It takes a heck of a lot to make me, of all people, not hate these. So, shout out even more so to Natalia for this absolutely stunning piece. The next piece I wanted to cover is this beautiful river delta piece. Now, this does have an article attached to it, but I'm not going to feature the article. I would rather you go read it on her website. Links are in the description down below. And I knew I had to feature this piece following the Calgary piece because it gave me the same kind of just soft, mellow vibes. And I'm having trouble giving general comments on it because it's just, the entire piece is absolutely gorgeous. And it's very calming, it's very soothing. It makes it hard to kind of come at it with this, hyped up energy that I try to bring some of the pieces to comment over them. Because it's just so calming to look at. The gentle river, the beautiful water buffalo, the otter in the bottom left corner, they're all just kind of hanging out. And it's so calming. The lovely crane flying off in the distance. Nothing stands out to me with this piece as like a singular component is the most eye-catching thing. The more you look at it, the more you're going to find in the gorgeously rendered detail, the soft colors, and the gentle feelings that it gives me. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm teaching children these days here in Korea, or because hopefully one day I have my own, and that's becoming more and more of a reality the older I get. God, I'm old. But I would be so happy to to purchase a storybook for my children and open up to see these kinds of visuals, like this is the stuff I would dream of seeing as a kid. Because a lot of the art books that I remember as a kid were just really poorly drawn or kind of lazily slapped together. I would be so happy to show my kids picture books or things like this and tell them, you could do this in the future. This is what artists are really capable of. This is what the medium of art is really capable of, to really help inspire their creativity. But before I go too long on this piece, because I'm already getting really long, let's move on to the next one. Speaking of children's storybooks, this is a perfect example. It's a lovely winter evening. Mom's got some stew going. And I can smell the aroma filling the air. Because this reminds me of Christmases that I've had with my family. It was just a really heartwarming feeling. The cute little squirrels walking across the snow, holding the carrot. It's just so adorable. And it makes me wish that I was back home right now and just buying these books for the kids that I don't have. I don't know, just something about this really drew me in, and it could be nostalgia, it could be the whole, again, I'm teaching kids, I want kids one day, but I love everything about this. I love the softness, I love the feelings I get. That is until I looked down at the bottom and I saw some spilling over on the side onto the burner, and I'm just imagining how long that would take to clean up. And then a little part of me dies inside, knowing that that's what's going to have to happen, and knowing that one day when I have kids and I'm cooking the dinners, or, Kat's cooking the dinners, that we're going to have to clean up the burners afterwards. I'm like, it hits too much to realize that I'm no longer the kid who can just enjoy the dinner and then go play with his Christmas presents. I'm now the guy, making the dinner, which is fine, but then also having to clean up after the dinner, and just the realization of how much older I'm getting is kind of hitting me right now, and it's not great. Unlike these pieces, which are absolutely fabulous, and I need to make sure I move on before I feel a little too old. Speaking of getting old and, of course, my eventual death, I really liked this piece because it gave me, and this is weird that I say this, it gave me almost like Luigi's Mansion vibes, not in the sense that it's Luigi's Mansion characters, but just in the ghost family occupying a home. Now, this family looks much, much happier, and there are no dead children or dead babies from the looks of it, which, now that I think about it, I'm referring to the original Luigi's Mansion. It was really weird, right, that there was a dead ghost baby in the crib. Like, why is there a ghost baby? I get it's a children's game, and I get I'm reading too much into this, but now that I think about it, I'm having a massive existential crisis about whether or not Nintendo made a dead baby joke at the expense of, 10-year-old me. Anyway, I really love this one because of, the nice light greens and just, the eerie, not even eerie, but the eerie look mixed with that gentle feeling. I can hear her song resonating through the halls even now, and just picturing this happy family who all died, I'm assuming in, a carbon dioxide leak in the home, just peacefully in their sleep, and are just enjoying their lives, not realizing they're dead. Yeah, that took a dark turn. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Luigi's Mansion and video games in general, when I came across this, I was just honestly astounded. I was really drawn in, because it's such a beautiful UI for a game that I would personally love to play. I know a lot of AAA games have this very locked-in mindset of, it needs to look either realistic or almost hyper-realistic. And I just don't feel like there's a lot of, especially larger titles. I know indie titles do this, and I think there's some absolutely gorgeous indie titles out there. But just seeing this art style, seeing everything flow, I can only imagine how this game might have actually played. Now, speaking of which, Natalia has done a little indie game on itch.io, which I will link down in the description below with her permission. And I may or may not, again, with her permission, make a short video discussing that, releasing on the same day as this video. So, if one video goes up, you'll know that I did not get permission, but if 2 videos go up, I would love for you to check it out, because I have seen the screenshots, I've played a little bit of it, and it is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it just makes me wish so badly that this was a game. It kind of reminds me of games like Jotun, and there's another game whose name escapes me right now. If I find it, I'll put it on screen. But I love the flowiness of it. I love the fluidity in all the art, and I feel like Okami was the other game I was thinking. It kind of feels like a mix of Jotun and Okami, with how all of the colors flow, all of the scenery looks like it would flow. But then you get this third person kind of side-scrolling action point of view, I think it would be fantastic. I would love to play a game like this. So, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, we have reached the halfway point of the video. If you have not done so already, please do make sure you check out Natalia's work in the links in the description down below, as well as check out if she's open for commissions. At this time, I do not know if she's taking any. That would be something you have to message her and inquire about yourself. I want to reiterate that I get written permission from all of the artists to showcase their work. Please do not share it without their permission. You may share my video, provided you include the disclaimers, and do not attempt to claim the video or the artist's work as your own. Any commissions you have done between you and the artist, or whether they're open to commissions, is purely between you and them. I am in no way involved. Okay, so make sure to follow Natalia on Instagram, on, I can't believe I'm saying this, X, what used to be Twitter, and then, follow me on those platforms as well. Any sort of boost to mine helps me get the voice out to more people. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube video. With all that being said, let's get back to it. Keeping on brand with the theme of video games, I loved this adorable little mouse and his overly packed inventory. It just screamed me and every stereotypical RPG player ever. We have to have every single map, we have to have every single item. John and I from the from the Noiseberry Games YouTube channel, linked down in the description below, when we played Elden Ring, always had to have our lanterns on, and this just really struck a chord with me. We get everything, we say no, we're gonna keep it for a later encounter, and then we never use it, and we just hoard and hoard and hoard. And this mouse is me, okay? And I feel kind of, seen, but I also feel kind of attacked, because at the same time, I know that mouse isn't gonna use it, and I know he's saving it, and he doesn't need to. You can use it, my furry friend. You can do it. Because I should be doing the same thing. Anyway, I really love this piece. I love the gentleness of it. I love all the little details in the maps, in the books. He's so cute. He's so cute. Getting back into landscapes, and in this case, Canada, I loved this piece. It reminded me of kind of the old frontier country, so to speak. The time when there was a whole bunch of forestry and mining, and Canada was just becoming Canada, especially when they were forging into the west from the east. And I've been to campsites like this. I've seen places like this. It feels very homey for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of people who have either camped in the mountains or walked through the mountains, or just in general live in the mountainous regions of Canada, you're gonna recognize this scene. You're gonna understand what it's like sitting around that campfire, telling jokes, telling stories, enjoying the people that you're with, and just being out in nature. And for those of you wondering, no, this is probably not in the dead of winter. This is likely mid-March, maybe even late March. There's still that much snow on the ground, but the ground is kind of, and I do mean barely, soft enough that you can put the stakes into to keep your tent up, and just the beautiful dark hues of the sky in the background as the sun sets. I love it so much. It gives me such a nice, warm feeling, and it's not just the campfire glow. And getting back into the storybook feel, I really like this one, because it feels very, storybook. This feels like an image I would see if I was reading Red Riding Hood, or any kind of fairy tale set in the forest, where the protagonist was picking flowers and for some reason has dropped their basket. I just love the lush greenery, the really nice light blues in the flowers, the adorable little chipmunk in the foreground, and the curious little Bambi deer in the background. It's a lovely touch. It's a beautiful sunlight spot surrounded by a dark, ominous forest that makes you wonder what's hiding just beyond those shadows. What's really watching you from the dark? So yeah, having that just beautiful sunlit spot, but then having that kind of nagging feeling. The potential that something is there, waiting, watching. Now for the second last piece I'm going to cover in this video, I absolutely fell in love with this cover of The Great Gatsby that very much has a Romeo and Juliet type feel to it. I understand that's what she was going for. She absolutely perfected it. It is beautiful. I love all of the nice little highlights. I love the little details, especially on the windowsills, how they're different colors. Just the lush greenery and the beautiful setting. Again, this just screams to me children's book. This screams to me something that I would love to show my kids, and I don't know, I can't get enough of this stuff for some reason. I'm once again at a loss for words on how to properly compliment this piece, outside of just showing it to you, telling you it's amazing, and telling you one more time to go check out her socials and a commission page if she has one available. Just absolutely phenomenal work. Finally, to close it off, I decided on this beautiful, I think like Venice beach feel kind of picture, with a bunch of people roller skating down the street chasing a runaway dog. And as I said, if you want me to fall in love with a piece, put a dog in there, 100% you have my vote. Not to mention when it's a sheep. I love Shiba Inus, they're so cute. Just the life and motion presented in this picture that was really beautiful. And even with like the muted brown tones going on, it still gives off this feeling of warmth, this feeling of motion, this feeling of life and exuberance. And though I'm not as big as the father figure in that image, again, I see myself in a similar position, kind of trying to take care of the kids. Well, of course, I happen to let go of the dog and now have to chase it down some busy street or walkway, trying to catch up to it. Meanwhile, my kid's just on my shoulder laughing like a maniac. It was just such a lovely, down-to-earth piece. And don't get me wrong, I love covering fantasy stuff. I love the video game stuff that she's done. I love everything that all of the artists have done that I've covered on the channel and that I plan to cover on the channel. But there's just sometimes when I like a nice, grounded piece. A nice piece that reminds me of what my childhood was like or what my future could be like. It's a lot easier to relate to it and kind of put myself in, how would I feel in this situation? What would I do in this situation? And I don't know, just something about it resonated with me. Could just be that I'm getting old and that I don't want something as flashy as I used to, but I just really, really love this piece. So, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, you have made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, for being here this long. Once more, it is Natalia Ionescu. I hope I'm not screwing that up. Please check out her social media links, her commission page, if she has one. Anything that I have showcased here was at her written permission, and I don't take any sort of kickback, promotion, discount, commission, or anything like that. I have unfortunately not had any pieces commissioned by her personally, or anyone she knows, but in the future that may change. Please do remember the art table comes out on the 14th of every month. I have artists booked until December, so I have all of 2023 booked up, and I'm hoping to start taking artist requests, or rather, requesting artists for 2024. So, if you have anyone you'd like to shout out, please do so in the comments. I will shoot them a message. If they respond, great. If they don't, that is out of my control. Anyway, thank you once more so much for being here. Check out Natalia, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!